I wasn't sure who went to place, but they can do mine. You can have mine. You can have mine. She's gonna Tara's gonna replace me. Yeah, okay, done. Hey, so I'm a little confused. So they're saying they won't be giving us permits, period. In essence. Yeah, so it's not clear. Yeah. If it's evenings and weekends, summer, like, yeah. So could we just get clarification? You might have to call yourself because that doesn't make sense. What season are they talking about? Yeah. Okay. Thanks. They were fine. They were fine. What's that?
Might get a question.
Oh, what?
When was the city 20 years old?
25 years now. That came out yesterday. It was part of the North. It formed part of the original North York.
Today's meeting is called to order. Thank you. Could I ask councillors and everyone else please to stand for a moment of silence and in that moment reflect on the incident that happened last Monday and keep in mind the victims of that incident? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Madam Chair,
Yes?
we may lose quorum pretty quickly. I think one of our colleagues has to leave. So are we just going to try and get as many things just cleaned up and
Yes.
done first? Okay.
Yes. Are there any declarations of interest under the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act? Confirmation of minutes of April 4th? Councillor Cole? Councillor Pasternak? All in favor? Opposed? Carried? With the pink sheet, we'll start calling out numbers that people want to hold. May I suggest that because we may have quorum issues, that members, if it's a quick item, go ahead and move the quick item when we come to it. 30.7. Where is it? This is for Ward 33. Adopt the staff recommendations and that the notice area of the community consultation meeting be extended to include, in addition to the 120-meter radius notice area, all landowners and residents residing in the area bounded by Esterbrook Avenue to the north, Sheppard Avenue east to the south, Don Mills Road to the east, and Shaughnessy Boulevard to the west, and that the applicant pay the city for the costs associated with extending the notice area. A seconder. Councillor Pasternak, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. So item 7 is dealt with. Item 8, short-term parking, Wilson Heights Boulevard. Councillor Pasternak?
Yes, Madam Chair, I'd like to defer that to the June 4th, 2018
Thank you.
meeting so we can work on that a little further.
Thank you. All in favor of deferral? Opposed? Carried. Item 9, Councillor Pasternak, and Tibby's Drive, all-way stop control.
Yes, I'd like to approve the installation of the all-way stop control on Tibby's Drive. It's in front of a community center. We're having near misses all the time with the confusion over a stop there. So we'd like it to move it to an all-way stop. And if the clerk
Do we have a seconder?
put that.
Yes? do members want to hold this down or vote on it now? Vote on it now? Okay, so Councillor Pasternak is moving a motion to adopt the all-way intersection. All in favor? One, two. Opposed? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Brought on to,
Item 10, removal of oh, Denzel, you're going to move the staff recommendation? 9. Thank you. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Item 10, Councillor Cole, removal of accessible parking space, Fraser Wood Avenue.
I'll move the staff recommendation.
All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Item 11,
I'll
Councillor Cole?
defer this to the next meeting.
all in favor of deferral? Opposed? Carried. Item 12, Councillor Cole, road alterations.
I have two minor amendments. One is to just consider Allen closures because of the crosstown construction when they time the construction, and the second one is to report back on the possibility of cycling infrastructure in the future.
Councillor, have you given the
Yep.
amendments? You have them?
Do you want me to read them
No.
verbatim?
Do people want to see them? Hold this item to see them? No? Vote on it now. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Item 13, accessible that's being held for Councillor Carmichael Greb. Item 14, also. Item 15. Yes. This is a person who has been removed from the Wilson Village BIA. So I'm moving to adopt the staff report and to appoint a member in place of this member who left, Ms. Ella Jo, J-O. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Item 16, Councillor Burnside, appointment to the Leaside Memorial Community Gardens Arena Board. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Item 17, Councillor Pasternak and Fillion, endorsement of events for liquor licensing purposes. And me.
I
Do you want to go
have,
first? Go
I don't
ahead.
know, I have two motions.
Go ahead.
If we could put them on the screen. One is for Taste of Manila Street Festival, and the other one is for the Royal Canadian Legion Branch Canada Day celebration. So I would move both those
Okay, let's take them all
requests.
together. Councillor Fillion?
For the Korean Harvest Festival, August 24th.
And I have one for the Lebanese Festival of Toronto to be held in July. Madam Clerk, you have all of those? All right. Well, shall we take them all as a package? All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
can I just ask for your guidance? There's an item that's timed for 10:45. I know that it's a renaming of a park that has broad and wide community support, and no one will be coming to speak. Procedurally, are we able to?
No.
No?
No, but Councillor Councillor Shiner and Councillor Carmichael Greb are both on their way.
Okay, thank you.
Introduction of items, please. Councillor Pasternak, you have item 30.29, Wilson Heights Boulevard parking changes that you'd like to introduce?
Yes, yes, Madam Chair, I'd like to.
Permission to distribute.
Permission to distribute, yes, we've been working on this for some time, and would like it distributed.
All in favor? Opposed? Carried? And I have a memo from Councillor Shiner regarding the review of the Sheppard Avenue East Subway Corridor Secondary Plan. Would someone like to move that for him to be introduced? Yes. Okay, we'll wait for him to move it. Are there any quick items that we can deal with now? Is there anyone here from Councillor Carmichael Greb's office? has she contacted anyone about items 13 and 14? Item 3, you can't, I'm sorry, you can't. It's 10:15. Well, if councillors could look over item 13, and if staff say that the councillor has been notified of this and is okay, perhaps we can move that? 13. Accessible parking space. Yes, Dan.
To you, Madam Chair, yes, staff are aware of that. We have consulted with the Councillor's
Okay.
office, and they have no objections.
Okay, so would someone like to move that? Councillor Filion. All in favor? Opposed? Carried? I still would like to hold 14 until she gets here. Is there anyone here for the 10 o'clock public hearing, item 1 on the agenda? Final report, city-initiated zoning bylaw amendment, West Lansing zoning study. Councillor, are you expecting anyone to come to speak to this?
I believe there was a letter of support from the homeowners association. I'm not expecting anyone. That doesn't mean that somebody isn't coming, so we should probably wait till the appointed time.
Is there anyone here to speak to item 2 on the agenda? The final report and zoning bylaw amendment and rental housing demolition application for 23, 25, and 27 Points Avenue? Sir, you're here? Would you like to speak to this item? Okay, item 2, please.
Your mic.
We're just checking your microphone.
I don't think it's on.
Hello, 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry about that. Well, I want to thank everybody for allowing me to speak here today. I live at 21 Points Avenue, and which is just east and adjacent to the development that's at 23, 25, and 27 Points Avenue. I did express my concerns at the May 9th meeting last year, and I was concerned about that the building is right adjacent to the property line, and I was hoping to have some setback. As I can see from the current plans, it still does not have a setback, and the property is right on the property line. I didn't get an explanation or any feedback on why my comments or anything about my concerns, so I wasn't too happy. I would have appreciated either the planning getting back to me saying that everything was acceptable or not, or having the developer. My other concern is regarding the traffic problems in that area. Most likely none of you live there, but I do. We've been there for 40 years, and we're raising our family there. I'm quite concerned about the traffic congestion that's there. You have to live there to realize what the problems are trying to get out of there during rush hour, okay, where you have to back into solid traffic that also goes all the way up to Botham. And I'm hoping that the decision that's related to this property takes into consideration the problems with the traffic congestion. To me, it's a disaster that's waiting to happen, okay, and I'm not too sure if this development will sort of eliminate or reduce some of the options that we may have to relieve the traffic in that area, but I'll leave it up to you planners. I've expressed my concerns. it's not going to get better. It's just getting worse, okay? And I know that the plan that John Fillion had, where we're going to reduce the number of lanes on Yonge Street, I support that, and I think it's a great idea, but no matter what we decide, we've got to figure out what to do about the traffic congestion, whether we, so that's my major concern also in that area. It's not a safe area to be in. My third concern, which is rather minor, okay, I'm asking the developer if he can. Right now, what we have is a wire fence that's around the total property. I'd like to see them construct a solid privacy fence as soon as possible during the construction to reduce the noise and the visual distraction. Okay, that results in, and also improve the safety of the neighbors. And that's my comments. But I'm really concerned about the traffic problems, okay, in that area. And you have to live there to realize it. Okay, so thank you very much,
sir.
everybody.
Let me ask if anyone has any questions of you. Any questions? No, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Is there anyone else here to speak to this item, item 2, Points Avenue? No? Councillor Fillion?
Questions of staff on behalf of
Staff to the floor, please.
the speaker. So just, I guess, a quick explanation for the resident why the building would be allowed to be situated on the lot line.
Through the chair, planning staff looked at it, assessed that given the zoning context, the added height of the building would have a negligible impact on the adjacent dwelling. Given the closer setback, that height would have a lesser impact on the adjacent dwelling.
That's not the reason I thought I was going to get. So is the reason not because it's a designated
Through you, Madam Chair, in addition, because this property is also within the North York Centre and designated mixed use, it could, in time, redevelop at a zero lot line itself. So the negligible, so the setback in this case is appropriate due to the overriding policy.
So if they were, not that we would approve a 5-story building on this site, but if it was 5 stories, they would still be allowed to locate on the lot line because the secondary plan allows that. Would that be a correct answer?
Through you, Madam Chair, yes, that's correct. As obviously, if, I mean, were it to get taller, not that it would, but if good, at some point you might do some stepping at the upper floors, but in this case, it's appropriate for the minimal.
It obviously would, would have an impact at zero lot line on the next door neighbor if it's as it remains a single family home. But my understanding is that when you're in a redevelopment area, unfortunately, you're not protected from redevelopment the same way you would be if your home was on the other side in the stable residential area next to the development.
Through you, Madam Chair, yes, that's correct. And also, unfortunately, the neighboring property is also at a substandard side yard setback itself already, so it's not helping, but it is, as you say, in a redevelopment area.
And the issue of the fencing, where are we in the site plan process for this?
So at this stage, the site plan is not finalized. We anticipate finalizing all the details shortly after the zoning is complete. Part of that application will require a construction management plan to be submitted, and all the details regarding a fence can be discussed at that point.
Right, okay, thank you.
Councillors, there's another deputant who has just arrived. All right. We'll hear the other deputant, Blair Scorgi. Yes, please. Welcome.
Good morning, members of North York Community Council. Thank you for having me here today. My name is Blair Scorgi. I'm a senior planner and urban designer with SVN Planners and Architects, and I'm also the agent acting on behalf of the property owner at 2327 Points Avenue. So I guess to just give you a bit of a background on the site. The site's located on the south side of Points Avenue, just west of Yonge Street. It's located at the southern terminus of the existing Beecroft Road. The property currently includes 3 single detached dwellings with, which have been converted over a period of years to incorporate a series of 5 rental units, residential rental units. The proposal seeks to bring the subject property into conformity with the North York Center secondary plan. So the site's currently zoned R4, which allows for a range of residential uses. What's being proposed is to rezone the site C4 with a series of minor site-specific zoning standards in order to bring the site into conformity with the City of Toronto's vision for these lands as the sort of southern and westernmost edge of North York Center. And so in keeping with that vision, the application seeks to develop a 3-story, 11-meter tall mixed-use building that includes retail uses at grade, office uses on the 2nd floor, and 4 purpose-built residential rental units on the 3rd floor. And these are a combination of 1- and 2-bedroom units with terraces and rooftop amenity space. Also in keeping with the secondary plan, the application seeks to preserve for the potential future southern extension of Beecroft Road south of Points Avenue. And it does that by incorporating a 10.75 meter setback from the west side property line. And through the design and sort of the designing and the siting of the building, we've created that sort of the driveway entrance on the west side of the property with a secondary entrance to the building, which, as Beecroft Road does eventually get extended, will turn into a second public road interface. So there's going to be a sidewalk, there's going to be a landscape boulevard that will transition into a public boulevard with a secondary building entrance for the office and the residential uses on the upper floors, whereas the entrances off of Points Avenue will be dedicated to the at-grade retail uses. So I think just in short, we're taking the site and bringing it into conformity with the city's vision for these lands, and at that time we're also preserving for the potential future extension of Beecroft Road and helping to address one of the city's concerns in ensuring the provision of adequate mid-range rental housing. Thank you.
Are there any questions? Thank you very much. Are there any other speakers to this item? Councillor Fillion, do you have a motion?
Yes, so I'll be moving the staff recommendations with a minor technical change. Do I need to read it out? That City Council adopt the staff recommendations in the recommendations section of the report April 13, 2018 from the Director of Community Planning, North York District, with the following amendments. And recommendations 4A, 4B, and 4C be revised to read as follows. The zoning 4A, the zoning bylaw amendments authorized by City Council in recommendation 1 above have come into full force and effect in a manner satisfactory to the Chief Planner and Executive Director, City Planning. 4B, the issuance of the notice of approval conditions for site plan approval